Hello, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist, and I'd like to talk to you about what some would call a dirty word. Ready? Evolution. Now, a lot of people get really worked up over the word evolution. In fact, to some, evolution, them dare fighting words. And I don't know quite why there's a fuss about the word evolution. Because evolution is a great many things. Evolution is the process of change over time. Now, biological evolution, that is, molecules to man, so to speak, that is the process of living creatures changing over time because of changes in environmental conditions and competition with other living creatures and just being able to take advantage of what resources are available. Now, biological evolution is not the only kind of evolution. There is planetary evolution, the formation of planets and even stars. There's geologic evolution, which is the process of, let's call rivers and oceans and tectonic plates changing over time. There's even technological evolution. There's artistic evolution. There is verbal evolution or linguistic evolution. Everything that changes over time evolves. Evolution is not a bad word. Even biological evolution is not a bad word because it's just a fact of life. But evolution in itself pertains to a great many things. And that's where the process of education gets waylaid by religion. Religion says evolution is bad. Don't fight against evolution. Evolution tries to prove that there's no God, which is ridiculous because evolution doesn't care about God, because evolution goes on. In fact, evolution doesn't care about beliefs. Evolution doesn't care because it's a process, and a process that happens regardless of what people think of it or what they believe. You can't say, I believe in evolution, because I don't believe in evolution. Evolution just is, and evolution doesn't care what I believe in. But evolution pertains to everything that changes. Technologically, the computer, which is an example I like to use, which is not necessarily a good example because, yes, computers were designed, biology not designed. But if you look at computers, computers evolved from basically the creation of the numeral 1. And that developed the whole number system and developed into math. And then many years later, maybe even hundreds of years later, 0 was created. Now, how do I know this? If you look at the Roman numeral system, there is no 0. Roman numeral system did very well with math with no 0. 0 came later, and more complex math came later, and the abacus came later, and more complex math came later, and calculators, mechanical calculators, came later, and then electronic calculators, and scientific calculators, and little calculators you have in your purse, and simple computers, and complex computers, and smartphones, which are basically computers. Computers evolved, diverged, just like biology does. And some computers made it, and some didn't, and some devices made it, and some didn't, just like biology, because of competition and environmental conditions and resources. Some things make it and some things don't. That's how evolution works. But again, it's a bad example. Another one is the watch. Have you heard the story of the blind watchmaker? Guy finds a watch on the beach and he looks at it and intuitively knows that it must have had a creator. It is a complex thing. Well, duh. But nobody created a watch. Nobody decided one day, I'm going to make a watch. Watches are a complex form of evolution. Watches, are you ready for this? Watches go back through, you got the digital watches, but mechanical watches, and simple watches, and stopwatches, and watches that worked off sand, and off water, and off springs, and go back to the concept of time, keeping time, and the numbers are in there. Watches came from an evolutionary standpoint of somebody one day came to the conclusion that time is passing and tried to figure out a way of keeping track of that time. So we got sundials and even sundials were an evolutionary step way beyond the concept of time. That's the thing, is everything evolves. Everything we have, we can say this was designed. Sure, it was designed, but it is designed from a process of evolution. Nobody decided one day, I'm going to make a cabinet. Thousands, millions of devices or fixtures came before the cabinet. Everything evolves. And biology evolves. Biology changes dramatically because it's a long stretch of time that this happens. It is not something that happens overnight. Just like the computer, thousands of years to get the computer. Just like the watch, hundreds, maybe thousands of, well, surely thousands of years to have the watch. Even painting. People use the example, you find a painting on the beach, obviously it was designed. That's one of Ray Comfort's idiot things. The process of painting. Nobody decided one day, I'm going to make a painting. No, painting came from millennia of artists creating artwork and creating paints and creating canvases. The idea of a painting comes way before cave drawings. So even a painting came about through a long, deliberate process of evolution. And forget deliberate. Accidental. It's all very accidental. Evolution is accidental. Not because it's by accident, but because things change and just happen. And some things survive and some things don't. Anyways, evolution. It's not a bad word. Evolution is everything. Everything evolves. Not just biology. Everything. Everything evolves. Anyways, I'm Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist. And remember, evolution, it's not a dirty word.